So hello everyone, welcome to the JavaScript part 3. In this session we are going to talk about two important data structures, or you can say two important concepts, which are strings and arrays. So a string is nothing but collection of characters. Let's say that you are writing, let's say I am creating a string, let str is equals to, and inside double quotations I am writing something. Let's say I am writing Batman, and I am closing double quotations. So whatever the things which I am writing in this double quotations are considered as characters, and this collection of characters we call it as a string. Okay, so in this session we are going to talk about how we can, like I have just created a string, how we can perform different operations on string. Operations are nothing but methods. There are various strings methods which we generally use to perform different operations on strings. And I think that if you are very new to programming, then I think this is the first time you are listening method, right? The word method. So you can consider method as a function. Okay, so what a function will do is that you can consider like a function as a magic button, and if you click that button now, some work will get performed, will get done by our compiler or by that particular language. This thing is known as a function, and generally there are two types of functions. Functions and methods are basically almost same. So functions slash methods, we have two types of functions. First one is inbuilt functions. These are the functions which are there in the compiler in that particular language. Those are inbuilt keywords, and by just writing the name of the function, we can perform whatever the things which is there in the function. And the second type of function is user defined function. We will study how we can create different functions in JavaScript. We have again different categories of functions like arrow function, all these different things we will study in the upcoming parts. But for now, you need to remember that a function or a method is something you can consider as a package of code, and by calling the name of the function, we can execute whatever the things which is there in the code, in the bundle of that particular function. Okay, now there are two types of functions. First one is inbuilt function, and the second one is user defined function. Inbuilt functions are the functions which are there, which are pre-built by that particular language, and user defined functions are the functions which are written by the programmers. Okay, clear. Now in this, what we are going to do is that we are going to study string methods, or you can call it as string functions. So the first method we are going to study is trim. So before that, let me create a string. Now let me create a string, let str is equals to, and I am giving space hello and space. That's all. Now if I print str now, then you can see that first of all I will get the space, after that hello, after that again space. Now I want to remove this space. I want to remove this space in my string. Then what I can do is that I can use a function. I can use one of the string methods like str.trim. I will use a function str.trim, and what this will do is that this will remove the extra spaces from our string, not exact string, but it will create a replica and it will remove the extra spaces from the string. Okay, now where we use this function, you might ask where we use this function while giving passwords. If you notice in Instagram or Facebook or Google, while creating accounts, we cannot give extra spaces or blank spaces, right? So if we are giving extra spaces, then those spaces will not get considered. Okay, so in there we might use trim function. So the thing you need to remember is trim function is used to remove extra spaces from the string, but it will not create a new string. What I mean by it will not create a new string is, in JavaScript strings are immutable. What is the meaning of immutable is, let's say that you have created a string str is equals to some Batman, right? Here I am creating a string. Let me give let str1 is equals to Batman. Okay, now I cannot change this. I cannot make, okay, str1 is equals to, I'm like giving some another string name Iron Man, then this Batman will remain same. This Batman will be there in the memory, it will not get erased, but the pointing, this str1 will now point to Iron Man. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, this might be a little bit confusing in the beginning itself, but I don't want to make any confusing to you guys. So meaning of immutable is that, let's say I'm writing str1 is equals to bat and space man. Now after that I am performing str1 dot trim. So when you can see that for this the output will be bat man, right? But you might ask, okay, Jabir, if I print now str1, then what output I will get? I will get this output or that output? The answer is you will get this output. The str1 will remain the same, but when you perform str1 dot trim, it will, JavaScript will create a new string and it will assign that to this Batman to that particular new string. I hope you have understood. And you know, we cannot change. For example, let's say I am creating str1 is equals to Batman. Okay, now after some time I am changing str1 is equals to Iron Man. I am changing this to Iron Man. Then what will happen is that this is my variable, right? This is my variable, and let's say that this is my data, and in the data, or you can say memory, I am having Batman and I am having Iron Man. Now initially this str1 will point to Batman. After that I am changing the pointing, so this pointing will get changed and now it will point to Iron Man, but Batman will be there in the memory. You need to remember, we cannot like alter any values or anything in the string memory. I hope I have understood here. I know I don't want to make anything like confusing in the very like beginning part of this session itself, but the thing you need to remember is strings are immutable. You cannot change strings. What I mean by changing is, let me show you. I want to make very clear to you guys. So this is my console, right? Now in this, what I will do is that I will create a function. Let's say let sp superhero is equals to Batman space something like this. Now what I will do is that I will perform trim operation. So trim, and you can see that it has removed extra spaces from the string, but it will not affect the original string. What I mean by original string is that, let's say I am printing sp. Now you can see that in the sp there is a blank space, but in sp.trim there is no blank space. I hope I have understood here. What sp.trim will do is that it will create a new string. Okay, it will not alter the previous string. The previous string will remain the same. This is what I am trying to explain here, right? So here when you point, let's say you are pointing str is equals to Batman, then initially it will point to Batman. After some time I am giving str1 is equals to Iron Man. Then what will happen is that the Batman will not get deleted from the memory. It will be there, but the pointing, the str1 previously was pointing to Batman, but now it will point to Iron Man. This is the meaning of immutable. Now the next method is, if you want to convert your characters into uppercase or to lowercase, then we use a function called as toUppercase or toLowercase. By using this function we can make our string values to uppercase or to corresponding lowercase. Let me show you how this will work. So in the console here you can see that I have created sp is equals to Batman. Now I want to convert each and every character in sp to uppercase. Then I will use a function called as sp.to, you can say uppercase, and curly parenthesis, and you can see that all the characters in this string is now in capital letters. Like this I can again convert this to small letters to lowercase, and yeah, you can see that all the characters is now lowercase. Like this we can convert a particular string to uppercase and particular string to lowercase. Now the next function we are having is argument. Argument is nothing but, let's say for a function, if we are passing some input, then that is known as argument to that particular function. Okay, now there are some function which requires argument, or else it will give you a error. So some of these functions are indexOf, and indexOf is a function which requires an argument. Now what indexOf will do is that, let's say here I have taken an example of string str is equals to I love coding. Okay, now if I give str dot index of j, then what this function will do is that it will search this character in this string. If this character exists in the string, then it will return the index of that character. Okay, if that particular character does not exist in my string, then I will return -1. Like this indexOf function will work, and instead of a single character I can give a set of characters also. For example, here you can see that I am giving here a set of, basically I am giving a mini string here, right? I love coding. In that you can see that the initial letter here is L, and here also the initial letter is L, and for these two letters you can see in the string the L character index is 1. That is why my output is 1. Okay, so let me see how this will work. So here I will give let string is equals to I love coding. Okay, now here I will use my string index function. So string dot index of, let's say I want to check for Jabir, whether Jabir exists in my string or not. Then you can see that I got the output as -1. If I give string dot index of, let's say I, here in the double quotations I will give I, then you can see that I got the output as 0, because the index of this particular string, the starting index of this particular string in the main string is 0. Similarly, I can also give string dot index of, let's say I am giving love. Now you can see that I got the index as 1. If I give small letter now, let's say I am giving here, I will copy this and I will paste it here, and in the place of capital L I am giving small l. Now you can see that my output would be -1, because there is no string which starts with small l. Here you can see that I am getting I love coding, and in the I love coding the letter L is in capital letter, but I am searching for love which starts with small letter. If there is no letter, no string like that, then it will return me -1. Now the next function we are having is method chaining. So method chaining is nothing but, if you are using multiple functions at once, let's say we know how to convert our string to uppercase, we know how to convert our string to lowercase, and we also know trimming, and we don't want to trim after that we want to change our uppercase. We don't want to do it separately, we want to do it in a single line. Then what we will do is that we will use the concept of method chaining. So here I will create a string. So let me remove all this. So let z is equals to, this is a z index. I am giving a long line here, and I will give some blank space which is unnecessary. Okay, now I want to remove unnecessary space and convert all the characters to uppercase. How we can do it? I already know that to remove unnecessary space from my string, I will use trim function. Okay, and to convert our characters to uppercase, we use toUppercase function. So I will give z.trim. Okay, so trimming operation will get performed first. After trimming all the extra spaces, I want to convert this to uppercase. Okay, now see the output. You can see that I have removed all the unnecessary space, and each and every character in the string is now in capital letters. Like this, I can perform multiple things in a single line using method chaining concept. Now the next concept we are having is slice operation. So let's say that you want to print from a particular index to this particular index. Then what we will do is that we use a function, a method called as slicing, and using slicing we can print a set of characters using the indices. Using the index of that particular string, we can perform slice operation. So here I have my string, right? So this is my string. Now for this string, what I will do is that I will perform z.slice, and I want to print the characters. Here you can see that T is having 0 index, H is having 1 index. So from 1 index I want to print all the characters from the rest of the string. So what I will do is that I will give 1. That's all. Now you can see that from the index 1 to all the indexes my string is getting printed. Similarly, I can also use z.slice, and I can give 2 parameters, 1, 4. Now when I give this, now you can see that I will only get elements or characters which are having from index 1 to index 4. Whatever in the characters which are there in between, I am getting that as my output. Like this, we use slice to print a set of characters using the concept of indexes. Now next we are having replace. So replace is used to replace a particular set of, or you can say substring from a given string. To replace a substring or a set of characters in a particular string, we use replace function. So here I will give, let's say from the z string I want to replace z.slice, I want to replace this to those. So here I will write those. Okay, now let us see what will happen. Z.replace, here I need to give replace. I want to replace z here. Okay, replace, in the place of slice I need to give replace. So I want to convert this, like this particular string, to those. Now you can see that I am getting the output as those z-index. Now if I want to replace z.replace, let's say I am replacing z with xyz. Now when I click, now you can see that I got the output as this is xyz index. Like this, I can like replace a particular set of characters in my console, in my string. Okay, like that we also have a function called as repeat. So repeat is used to repeat a particular string for a number of times. For example, let's say z.repeat, I want to repeat my z string for 3 times. Now you can see that I got the output as z-index, 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 like this. Now if I want to repeat this for 100 times, then in the place of 3 z.repeat I will give 100. Now you can see that I will get the output for 100 times. Like this, we use trim function, toUppercase, toLowercase, slicing, replace, repeat function. So I hope you have understood how we create strings and how we perform operations, different operations in strings. Now the next concept we are gonna learn is about arrays. So to understand why we use arrays or what is the need of arrays, you need to consider a scenario in your head. Let's say that there is a student and he has given exams for 3 subjects. Let us say those 3 subjects are math, science and physics or social. Okay, now we have to store the marks of these 3 subjects. Okay, so to store the marks of these 3 subjects, what we will do is that we will create 3 different variables. We can create 3 different variables, right? So let me create, let math is equals to 100, let science is equals to 90. After that, let social is equals to some EIT. Okay, now we have successfully created and we have stored the data of 3 different subjects. Now if I want to access the marks of max, then I will print M. If I want to access the marks of science, then I will print S. If I want to access the marks of social, then I will print SO. By printing this, I can access the marks of this corresponding subjects. Okay, clear, everything is good. Now my question is, let's say there are 100 subjects. Okay, there are 100 subjects. Let us like imagine a scenario. There are 100 subjects out there, but is it logical? Is it viable to create 100 variables and to manage all these 100 variables? It is like practically impossible to create 100 variables and to operate all these 100 variables. So for that particular reason, we have created arrays. We have introduced the concepts of arrays. So array is a data structure which is used to store items, right? And this storing of items will happen in a continuous fashion, Okay, got it. Now one more thing you need to remember is that we have studied Java. We are coming from Java language, right? But in Java, first of all, we have to give the data type of the arrays, and we can only store the data with that data type, and we cannot store another data type in that particular array. What I mean by that is, let's say in Java, we are creating an integer type array. So for that, I have to give int arr is equals to this, and I can assign the value. But here I cannot store a character because this will only take integer values. But in JavaScript, there is no exception like that. In the same array, I can store a string, I can store a boolean value, I can store a number, right? Whatever the data type might be, I can store anything I want in JavaScript. This is, I can say, a slight advantage in some scenarios, a slight disadvantage in some other things. Okay, so in JavaScript, I can store arr is equals to 1, true. I can store anything I want. But while allocating memory, both will follow the same procedure. Both will allocate memory in a contiguous fashion. Okay, got it. Now there are some terminologies when it comes to arrays. Okay, so we call this first character, this first item, as 0th index. We give like index is nothing but you can call it as a location number. Not exactly location, but yeah, a number through which you can access the element in a particular array. That thing is known as index. Through index, you can access a particular element in an array. Okay, clear. Now when I give let's say the name of the array is arr, and I want to like access this particular data. Now how I can access is through index. If I give arr of 2, then my output would be 6. If I give arr of 3, then this will give me the output as 8. I hope you are clear till here. Now how we can create? We have understood, okay, to store elements in a contiguous fashion, to store n number of elements, to be specific, in a contiguous fashion, we use arrays. Okay, and this storing will happen in a continuous fashion. What I mean by continuous fashion is, let's say that this is my memory, okay, and my memory is divided into different blocks, and we already know that each block will have a unique address. Okay, now let's say the address of this block is 201, 202, 203, 204. Now what I have did is I have created an array, and in that I am storing values. Then what will happen is that 1 will get stored here, after a will be here, after 2 will be here. Like this, in a continuous, in a structured fashion, elements will get stored. Whereas when I create these variables now, the memory location or memory allocation happens in a random fashion for variables, but for arrays, in a continuous fashion, memory allocation will occur. Now how we can create arrays? how we can create arrays in our JavaScript. We can create arrays by just writing let my array name, and in square brackets we have to give the data, what data I want to store. Like this we can create, and in the array we can store a single data type, In the first example I am storing numbers, in the second example I am storing set of strings, and also we can store a set of multiple data types in a single array. This is, you can say, a slight advantage when it comes to JavaScript, right? But when it comes to like Java or C or C++, we cannot store multiple data types in a single array. Okay, so yeah, this is the thing I wanna mention here. So these are the three different types of arrays we are having, and we can also initialize a particular array with empty. If you don't want to add anything, then you can leave it empty, and later you can add. And one more thing is that arrays in JavaScript are dynamic. What I mean by dynamic is that you can add new elements, you can remove elements, but in Java we cannot add more elements, or we cannot add some the adding operation will have some fixed thing. Arrays are static, arrays are fixed in Java. It will have some defined size, and if it exceeds the defined size, then we cannot add elements. But in JavaScript there is no exception, there is no like drawback like that. Okay, so let me create array. After that we will study the functions of arrays. So let me clear all the screen and let me remove all this. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is that I will create array. Let my array is equals to, in the array I will store a student name Jabir, after that roll number 9, after that his CGPA 9.02 or let's say 9.5, after that his city where he belongs. So let's say Hyderabad, I'm giving Hyderabad like this. Now I have created my array. Okay, now I want to see what is the length of the array. So to see what is the length of the array, we use a function called as array.length. So array.length, length. Now you can see that by just giving array.length, I will get what is the total number of elements or items present in my array. I will get that. How many items are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 items are there. So length of my array will become 4. Okay, I hope you are clear. Now if I want to print my array, then I will give ARR, AY. Now you can see that this is my array, and the first index is Jabir, the next index is 9, after that CGPA, after that my city. Like this I am getting my arrays. Now one of the key differences between strings and arrays is that arrays are mutable, whereas strings are immutable. The meaning of immutable is we cannot change. After initialization, after creation, we cannot change anything. But when it comes to arrays now, we can change the items in the array. Let's say here, you can see I have assigned array is equals to Hyderabad, right? The last index is Hyderabad. Now I want to change the city. Okay, I want to change the city now. So what I will do is that I will give ARR of 3, which is Hyderabad, is equals to, I want to change it. Now I will change to Vijayawada. So Vijayawada. Okay, I am giving Vijayawada here. Now you can see that here it is showing some kind of error. Oh, I need to write the array name here. So array of 3 is equals to, let's say, YJD, Vijayawada. Okay, or I can give Vizag. So Vizag and semicolon. Now you can see that I have changed the value. Now if I print my array now, you will see that my array is now Jabir 9.5, and the original value was Hyderabad, but now the new value is Vizag. Like this we can change the values. That is why in strings the overall collection, the overall data is immutable, but when it comes to arrays, the data can be manipulated, the data can be changed. That is why it is mutable. Now the next concept we are having is methods. So there are mainly 4 methods when it comes to arrays which we generally use. The first one is push. What push will do is that it will add a new element from the back of your array. Okay. The next method is pop. Pop is used to delete the last element in your array and it will return you that. In the console, it will give you the output of that particular last element. Now, the third function is unshift. Unshift is used to add elements from the start. Okay, whereas shift is used to delete elements from the start. Let us see how this will work. So in the array, what I'm gonna do is that I will write here, let me clear all this. Now I have an array, right? I have array. Let me print my array for now. So this is my array I have created. Okay, this is the array I'm having. So I want to delete the last, or let's say I want to add something new. So array dot push, and I will write, let's say I want to write the nation I am from. Okay, so here I will give my country name, India. Now you can see that now my array, if I check the values in my array, then there are 5 values in my array. This is the first value, second value, third value, fourth and fifth. Okay, so what push will do is that it will add new elements from the last. Similarly, I can also use a function called as pop. So what pop will do is that it will delete the last element. Now if I print my array, you can see that my array, in the array there are 4 elements. Now I have deleted the last element. Now if I want to add elements from the start, let's say I want to write my last name. So here I will give array dot unshift, and in this I will give let's say Hussein. That's all. Now if I print the elements in my array, then I will get Hussein, after Jabir, 9.5, Vizag, something like that. Now if I want to delete the first element in my array, then I will give array dot shift. That's all. Now you can see that I have deleted Hussein from my array. Finally, if I print my array now, then you can see that there are only 4 elements in my array. Like this, we can manipulate, we can add elements, remove elements from my array. Now the next function we are having is a practice question. After it, we will go to this. Now in this practice question, there is a array called as start, and in this start array we need to remove an element from the beginning. So how we can do it? By just using shift function, we can remove the element from the start. So let us do this. I will clear the screen. I will write let start is equals to, let's say I am giving January, June, after it March, give randomly March, like that. Okay, this is my basic array. Now in the array, if I print the elements in the array, you can see that I am having January, June and March. Now if I want to delete January from my array, then I can use start dot shift. What shift will do? It will delete the element from the start. Now you can see that I got January. Now if I print the elements in the start, you can see that there is only June and March. Like this, we can perform various operations. Now the next concept we are having is, in the methods there is a indexOf method. So what this will do is it will return the index of a particular element. It will return the index. So here you can see that if I print my old array, here you can see if I print my old array, in the old array I am having Jabir, 9.5 and Vizag. Let's say that I don't know the index of Vizag. I don't know what is the index of Vizag. Then what I can do is that I will write array dot index of, let's say I will give here Vizag. Now you can see that the index of Vizag is, I am getting output as 3. Now if I want to check something, let's say array dot index of, let's say I want to check Jabir's index, so I will write Jabir, and you can see that I got the output as -1. Why I got the output as -1? Because there is no Jabir starting with small j. So you can see that the index of Jabir is 0. Now if I give some random stuff which is not there in my array, then I will get output as -1. So here I will give array dot index index of, let's say I'm giving Khan. Okay, now you will see that there is no Khan in the array. That is why the output is coming as -1. Like this, we use a function called as indexOf to check whether what is the index of that particular element. Now if you want to check whether an element exists or not, then we use a function called as include. By using the function include, we can check in the given array whether the element exists or not. Let me show you how include works. So in the array, here I will write array dot includes, and I will write Jabir. Here I will give Jabir. Now you can see that this arrays dot include and Jabir exists in the given array. That is why I got the output as true. If I give something random now, let's say Jabir array dot includes Khan, then there is no Khan in my array, then I will get the output as false. Like this, we can check whether an element exists or not, and if it exists, then how we can calculate the index by using indexOf function. The next concept we are having is how we can merge two arrays. Let's say here I am having array, right? Let me clear all this. I will print my array. Now you can see that this is my array 1. Now I am creating another array. Let's say ARR, let ARR2 is equals to, I am giving now Khan and roll number as 2 and CGPA 10. After that, let's say Hyderabad is my city name. Now I want to concatenate, I want to combine the array 1, this is my array 2, let me print it. So this is my array 1 and this is my array 2. Now I want to combine these two things. How I can do that? I can do that by using a function called as concatnate. So here I need to use this function. Here I will write array dot concat and I will write array 2. Click it and see, now you can see that I am having Jabir 9.5 Vizag. After it has combined with second array. Now I am getting my second array Khan 2 10 Hyderabad. Like this, we can combine two arrays. And the next function we are having is reverse function. Let's say for array 2 you want to print elements in a reverse fashion, then you will use a function called as reverse. Here clear all this ARR2. Now you can see that in the array 2 I am getting output Khan 2 10 Hyderabad. Now I want to print this in a reverse fashion, then I will use reverse function. That's all. Now you can see that my output is Hyderabad 10 to Khan. Now we are having another function called as slice, and slice is very similar to string slice. In string slice we used to print a set of characters from a starting index to ending index. If there is no ending index, then it will print all the elements in the rest of the string. Similarly, we can use the properties of arrays slice, arr2.slice. Let's say I want to print elements from the first index to the last index. Then you can see that the first index element is 1 and the last index element is 3, Khan. So I'm printing 10 to Khan as my output. Now if I want to print elements from 0th index to second index, then I will write arr2.slice 0, 2. Now see the output. You can see that I'm getting the output as the 0th index element is Hyderabad. After the second index element is Khan. Like this, my elements will get printed. Now the next property we are having is sort. Sorting is nothing but, let's say you want to arrange your elements in a ascending order or in a descending order. Then what you will do is that you will use a function called as sort, and what this sort will do is that it will automatically rearrange your array in a structured fashion, in a structured ascending fashion. So here let me clear the screen. So I will create let nums, or let's say st is equals to, I am storing random numbers, so 1 0 3. I am storing this random numbers. Now if I print st now, you can see that I'm getting 103 randomly. Now if I want to sort the elements in this array, then I will use sort function. When I use sort function now, the elements will get sorted automatically. You can see that I'm getting 0, 1, 3. Like this I can sort elements in my given array using sort function. Now the next concept we need to understand here, this is one of the important concepts, which is arrays reference. What is the meaning of arrays reference? So let's say that I am creating an array arr, and in that I am storing here arr is equals to I am storing 1. Okay, after that again I am giving arr dot push 1. Then what will happen is that a new one will get added in this array. 1, 1 will be there in the given array. Now if you compare two arrays now, then it will immediately give you output as false, whether it might be double is equals to or whether it might be triple is equals to. Irrespective of that, if you compare the same, even though the value is same, but if you compare two arrays, it will give you the value as false. Why this is? So let me tell you what I mean. I will clear the screen. I will compare Batman is equals to Batman. Now these two strings are same, that is why I will get the output as same. Now if I give Batman triple is equals to Batman, then and also my output is true. So what I hope you know what double is equals to and triple is equals to will do. Okay, so if I give 1 now, 1 double is equals to array 1, then it will give me false. If I give 1 triple is equals to 1, then also it will give me false. Why this is happening? Even though the values are same, but why I am getting false is that what happens is when you create an array, this one will occupy some storage memory. Okay, now after that the second one will also occupy some memory, or you can say some storage memory, and the innate addresses of these two are different from one another. Okay, so the overall address of this one and this one are different. And when you give double is equals to now, then what JavaScript will do is that it will compare the addresses, it will compare the objects, not the values. This one on the left side and the one on the right side, those two are considered as different objects. That is why, because even though the values in the objects are same, but the objects are itself not same. That is why I am getting the output as 0, and we call this concept as arrays reference. The reference of this one on the left side and the reference of this one on the right side are both different. That is why I am getting output as false. Now the next concept we are having is constant arrays. So we have already seen constant variables. If we declare anything constant now, then we cannot change it further. We cannot change it in future. We cannot add, we cannot manipulate. That thing is known as constant array, and we should only use constant arrays if we are sure that we are not gonna use this array in the next, we are not gonna manipulate this array in the next of the program. If we are sure about it, then only we should use constant array. Okay, I hope you have understood, and I want you to create a constant array and try to add elements in the constant array and see what you will get. Now the last concept of our lecture is nested arrays. So creating a multi-dimensional arrays is nothing but nested arrays, and I hope you know what is multi-dimensional arrays. Till now we have been creating a single dimension array, arranging elements in a single row. But if you want to arrange in n number of elements in rows and columns, then we use two-dimensional array. Like this we have n dimension arrays. Okay, now to create nested arrays, I will give let nested arr is equals to, I will give in the square brackets, I will give again 1 2 3, after that 3 4 5. That's all. Now you can see that I will get my nested arrays. Here I will write nested arrays, and you can see that here this is my row 1. In the row 1 I am having 1 2 3, and in the row 2 I am getting 3 4 5. Like this we can create n number of nested arrays, n dimensional nested arrays. I can also create a 3-dimensional nested array, like 3 arr is equals to, I will give 3d. Let's say I am giving 1 2 3 comma 3 4 5. Like this I can give, and similarly here also 4 5 6 comma 8 9 10. Okay, now you can see that if I print 3 arr, then I will get a 3-dimensional arrays, something like this. Like this we can create n-dimensional arrays. So this was the last concept of our lectures. I hope you have understood what are strings, operations or methods involved in strings, after arrays, methods of arrays. So till now I think the lecture is now around 50 minutes, so I will stop here. In the next part we are going to talk about some more concepts of JavaScript. So with that being said, I will see you in the next one.